Hey guys, Salmonella returns to the channel for just a day, right? We're gonna space out the salmonella, right? We're not gonna have another instance where I like go a month of just watching like oversimplified and salmonella. No, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna space it out, keep to the regular path. We're just gonna add salmonella back into the rotation of videos that I react to. This time, this one is on why produce used to suck. Well, the answer to that question, my good gentleman, is that, well, genetics. We've modified and, I guess, bred produce to be more sustainable, to be better, I guess, was one way to put it. And also, we put drugs and stuff in the crops, pesticides to keep away the bugs. And then also, the other reasoning is after it was farmed, it could not last that long. It wasn't something that like grain. Grain can last a while. Grain is good to last a while. Produce and meat, meat you can salt. Meat you can and freeze. Meat can last a little bit longer than produce. Because produce you can't really freeze and keep it. Like you can't freeze really lettuce and expect it to still be good. It doesn't work quite the same as meat does. So yeah, produce still kind of sucks, but it doesn't suck as much in terms of how long it. So we're gonna go ahead and hear the reasoning salmonella gives. I could probably be wrong in my statements. So anyways, let's go ahead and watch. I missed this theme song. God, it's so loud though.
Hey kids, you've probably seen this scene in TV or movies at some point. A couple of people end up stranded on a desert island, totally isolated from all civilization. It seems like there's no hope for survival, but then one of them looks 3 feet to the left and, oh my god, it's a tree full of fully grown, plump, delicious, smiling, golden-skinned bananas. Amazing. We're saved for the time being. Hey, don't eat those. They're made of lies. See? Listen, why did fruit exist? For a delicious, nutritious snack for humans and animals alike to enjoy?
Holy shit, Salmonella's strong. He has yeeted that man into space.
You know, you didn't have to go throwing him into the sun like that.
You're next, Susan!
What's he got against Susan?
How did you know my name? I created you. Anyway,
He's going mad with power.
as most of you probably know, fruit are a thing because nature figured out, hey, if you put a little bit of deliciousness around your seed, it'll convince some idiot bird or something to carry your baby off to faraway lands, right? But then humans showed up and were like, hey, that's pretty nifty. Listen, is it cool if we selectively breed you for thousands of years to give you horrific deformities to crank up that whole deliciousness part a couple hundred notches?
Yeah, kind of what I said.
Alright, cool. Let's take a look at bananas, specifically the Cavendish variety that we all know and love. On the inside, we got like 2% seeds, 93% delectable banana meat, and 5% that brown part at the bottom that your mom says is perfectly fine to eat, but you still don't trust. Great.
Did we all live the same childhood? Did we live the same fucking childhood?
For a snack. Terrible for reproducing efficiently. Meanwhile, check out the thing on the right here. That's Musa acuminata, one of the suspected ancestors of today's nanners.
No fucking way. Is that what a banana's supposed to look like?
Much smaller and jam-packed with seeds, with just enough flesh in there to make it worth some smelly primate's time to crack open a yellow one with the boys. Here's another wild-type banana, Musa balbesiana. Less sweet.
Doesn't even look like a banana.
Way starchier, harder to get into, hella seeds, same shit different day really. But hey, if you stick that boy in the ground, you've got an okay chance of making a new banana tree. You bury a modern banana, all you're gonna end up with is a dirty banana. And not that one club in Miami, I mean an actual dirty banana. That's because, like a lot of cultivated fruit, culinary bananas are so inbred and malformed that they can't produce offspring even if they wanted to. So, word of advice for you men out there, if ever a lady points out how poorly endowed you are, just show her this JPEG. She'll say, wow, I didn't realize it was so potent and fertile. You really opened my eyes, thank you. Banana
I'm not gonna say anything.
Bananas aren't the only piece of produce to follow this pattern, though, not by a long shot. For example, take the watermelon. According to Monsanto, everybody's favorite corporation, the first evidence of human cultivation of the watermelon dates back to Egypt around 5,000 years ago. Back then, they were only 2 inches in diameter, around the size of a tennis ball. The flesh was supposedly tough and bitter, much like that of a tennis ball. Of course, just as the growth of a delicious green baby takes time, so too did the evolution of the modern
No.
watermelon. In fact, even as late as the mid-1600s, watermelons looked way different from what we have today, as shown by this painting by Giovanni Stanchi. Notice the thicker rind, the larger seeds, and the weird segmentation on the inside. Definitely a cooler still life subject, but ultimately inferior as a summertime snack. How about vegetables? Tell
What
me,
the
do you
fuck?
enjoy cabbage, Brussels sprouts?
I didn't, I knew there was genetic modification over time with our produce, but I didn't think it was that much of a change. Even just 400 years ago, in the 1600s,
Kale,
as
collard
you just
greens,
said.
broccoli, or cauliflower? I mean, I guess I like broccoli and cauliflower. The rest are kind of gross, though.
Wrong! All 6 of these vegetables are actually the same thing. That means you like them all.
That's not how that works. I'll be good. Anyway, these veggies are all just cultivars of the same species, Brassica oleracea,
No
otherwise
fucking
known
way.
as wild cabbage. Every part of the plant is edible to some extent, but there's not much of it to go around. So a bunch of different people throughout history said, alright, what if we just take one
Technically, they made kale first, and then that branched off into all the others, but you get the gosh darn point. You're
specific
gosh
part of the
darn right,
plant and go
Salmonella.
fucking
I
insane
get the
with it.
point.
And that's what they did. Those who bred for giant leaves got kale. Going for huge dense flower buds gets you broccoli. Juicy engorged lateral leaf buds equal Brussels sprouts, etc. Speaking of segues, let's check out eggplants. The OG eggplant was first domesticated in India, where it can still be found in the wild today. It looks nothing like an eggplant, though. They actually resemble little green berries the size of grapes. The only thing it seems to have in common with the classic purple eggplant is how little both of them have in common with an egg. However, if we add the RGB percentage values of their color and merge their shapes, we do get what looks approximately like an egg, so I guess that solves that mystery. This whole transformation really is a testament to man's greatness, though. That's like starting out with a frog and selectively breeding them until you end up with Grimace from McDonald's lore. Speaking of which, did you know Grimace used to be evil and have 4 arms? This is a real thing. I'd like to think that when they lopped off his extra limbs, all his evil energy went with him, and now there's just 2 plump purple cylinders scampering around the
No.
countryside waiting to pull unsuspecting kids under ball pits, never to be seen again. That's just my McDonald's headcanon, though. Anyway, back to whatever we were talking about. Next is corn, or sorry, maize. I call it corn like a normal person. If it was supposed to be called maize, these would be called mazes. Obviously, that's like the perfect opportunity, but they're not, so put an etymological sock in it. Or stocking. Anyway, I was totally expecting old corn to look like those baby corns you find in Chinese food and literally nowhere else. Turns out those actually are just baby corns. One suspected ancestor of corn is known as teosinte, which looks like this. Gee whiz, Sam, that sure does look like garbage. Good eye, Billy. That's because it was garbage. Whereas modern corn has a kernel count in the hundreds, teosinte only has 5 to 12, with each
What?
one being encased in a hard shell that's basically impossible to get into short of boiling it or chipping a tooth. The fact that people decided to domesticate it in the first place makes sense once you realize that most grains are basically the same thing. But honestly, that just makes me wish people figured out how to turn a piece of wheat into a big chunk of whatever to gnaw on. This whole thing disappointed me so much that I actually moved it to the top of my list of reasons not
The corn was bad. Brutal human sacrifice is number 2. Overly complex calendar. Probably all selfish as fuck. Even their name sounds like mine. Scared that Quetzalcoatl is real.
to visit the Mayans if I
I
ever
think I pronounced that. It definitely did not pronounce it right, but I think, you know what? For someone that sucks at pronouncing things, I think I passed.
get a time machine. Nonetheless, as you can see, human endeavor can accomplish amazing things. And just as a few thousand years of selective breeding can turn this into this, a few hours of learning a week can turn you into, a more talented and interesting version of you. And what better way to do that than with skills?
That was a smooth transition. I respect that. I respect that. But there's no history in those. I'm just tired. All right. That is Why Produce Used to Suck by Salmonella. Yeah, no, I was kind of right. I think the pesticides though is more on the whole, it allows us to grow a lot of our modern produce. It doesn't necessarily, well, do that. It doesn't change them from that to that. It doesn't change them from not delicious to delicious, right? But yeah, I knew it was a little bit of breeding. I didn't think it was that extreme of a change over time. I mean, really going from this to this, that's just crazy to me. Or like with the eggplant one blew my mind. The broccoli one blew my mind. I didn't think all those things like came from like the same origin point. Well, I guess kind of makes sense with how evolution works. A lot of things share the same origin point, but you know, all those various green stuff coming from the same plant, pretty much, that's crazy to me. But yeah, that is the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Leave a suggestion down below for what you want to see me react to next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.